Here's the thing that I've been thinking about a lot lately. Life in general, right? It doesn't care about your plans. Like, at all. I know we all sit there trying to make every move perfect, thinking if we just plan right, if we just grind hard enough, everything will line up, and then boom, we're happy. But the truth? That's not how it works, and it's not even close. You can make every decision that you think is right, and still, stuff is just gonna hit you out of nowhere. Life throws curveballs that aren't fair, and honestly, you don't really get a say. And that's a really weird feeling, right? Because we grow up being told if you just work hard, it'll happen. If you just make the right choice, then everything will be fine. And yeah, it's kinda true sometimes, but way too often it's not true at all. Life doesn't care about our checklists. It doesn't care if you followed the rules or did everything by the book. That's not to say that we're powerless. Not at all. We can make choices every single day. We can decide how we react and who we spend time with and what we put our energy into. That's completely ours and it's all on us. But even the smartest moves, the ones that feel like they're perfectly calculated, you have no guarantee where they'll take you. It's like playing Minecraft and thinking you've built the perfect fortress and then a creeper sneaks up and blows part of it up. You did everything right, or at least you thought you did, but the outcome was totally out of your hands. And honestly, the sooner you realize that, the lighter you feel overall. Because when you stop trying to control everything, you stop stressing over the stuff you can't touch. You stop letting every random twist in your life ruin your mood or make you doubt yourself. It's really powerful and it's pretty freeing. But here's the tricky part. Most people never get there. People are constantly trying to control the uncontrollable. They want the perfect job, perfect life, perfect relationships, perfect timing. They want life to move on their schedule, and when it doesn't, they end up pretty frustrated. They're anxious or they feel like they failed, even though really they just forgot one key fact. Life doesn't care. Think about it like this. You're walking down a path and you can see like 3 steps in front of you. You pick your steps carefully and you decide left, right, jump, whatever. And each step you take seems smart at the time, but you don't know what's waiting after the bend. You don't know if there's a cliff, a monster, a village, or literally nothing at the end. You just walk. You make choices, and that's it. And you just keep walking. And sometimes, man, that's completely enough. Sometimes you just need to take the next step without knowing the whole path. Because thinking that you can map the whole thing out is a trap. It's a trap that makes life pretty stressful and exhausting and honestly pretty miserable. And here's the part that I didn't get for the longest time. Life is less about controlling the path and more about controlling yourself. Your heart, your mind, your reactions, that's all that's really yours. And the rest, it's just life. I mean, think about it. Look at the people that you respect, the ones who seem calm, happy, not freaking out over every little thing. Chances are they've got this concept down, even if they don't call it that. They don't try to control everything and they don't sweat the random stuff. They focus on what they can do and they let the rest be. It's not weak at all and it's not giving up. It's smart and it's honestly survival. And I'll be pretty real, it's hard to accept. When something goes wrong or life throws a weird curveball your way, the first instinct is to panic, to scream at the universe, why me? To try and force things back into place. But that never works. It just makes you tired, bitter, and frustrated. And here's the kicker, sometimes the things that feel like disasters, they end up being exactly what you needed. Not because they're good in themselves, but because they pushed you somewhere that you weren't planning on going. Somewhere you couldn't have gotten if you were just trying to control the world. And yeah, this doesn't mean we don't plan. It doesn't mean we sit on the couch and let life run us over. We can plan and we can grind and we can make certain moves, but the key difference is the mindset. You control what you can and accept what you can't. You can pray and you can hope and you can work hard. But the final result, that's never ever guaranteed. That's always bigger than yourself. And honestly, if you wrap your head around that, it's pretty damn comforting. Because you don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You don't have to have everything figured out. You don't have to get mad when life doesn't play nice. You just keep going. You keep deciding what you can, and you keep showing up. And you trust that even if the path twists in ways that you didn't expect, you'll be able to fully handle it. And that's the harsh truth. And if you fight it, you'll just get pretty damn exhausted. But if you lean into it, if you accept that the only thing you can control is how you walk your path, that's where freedom lives. That's where clarity comes. And that's where you actually start enjoying things instead of constantly stressing about them. Because here's the thing, your decisions matter, yeah. but not in the way that you think. They matter in the small stuff, in the day-to-day, in the person you become while walking the path, not in forcing the world to fit your script. The world doesn't owe you that. And once you realize that, life starts feeling a lot lighter. So yeah, no ifs, ands, or buts. You can't control the world, and you can only control yourself. Your choices, your actions, your mindset. And honestly, that's enough, and it's more than enough. And man, sometimes it'll just hit me how weird it is trying to live every day knowing I can't control much. Like you wake up, make a few choices, and then life just does its thing. And half the time it doesn't even make any sense. I catch myself overthinking, thinking if I do this right, then maybe that will happen. But then it doesn't. And the frustration, it hits different when you actually notice it. The other day I was stressing over some small stuff, like really small. And I realized I was just running circles in my own head. I was trying to force something to happen, but it was literally not mine to fix it all. And it's wild because I know that logically, but still the brain doesn't care at all. It wants to control everything. And yeah, I still mess up. I still let it get to me and I still overthink. But the small victories are in noticing it. That's the part I'm starting to get. And honestly, it's kind of funny when you step back. Life throws these random moments at you, and sometimes the best thing you can do is just react naturally. Like, just roll with it. Doesn't mean you always do it well, and doesn't mean it's easy. But sometimes it's enough to just pause and not make things worse by stressing. I've been noticing how much energy I waste worrying about other people's reactions too. Like, I'll spend hours thinking about what someone else might say or how they might judge me. And really, I can't control that. Not at all. And the more I try, the more it eats me up inside. So now I just try to let it go. Not perfectly, but I notice it more. And that counts, and that's a step. Some nights I just lie there thinking about how random life is. Like a single choice can change everything in ways that you never expected. And you start questioning yourself. Did I screw up? Am I behind? But here's the weird thing. Sometimes it's not about screwing up or being behind. Sometimes it's just the randomness of it all. And maybe what feels like a mistake now is actually setting up something that you didn't see coming. Or maybe it isn't. Either way, it keeps moving and you move too. And then there's the gratitude side of it. Not in a cheesy, oh, I'm thankful way, but just noticing the stuff that's actually yours. Like, I can't control the big stuff, the chaos, the curveballs, but I can notice a funny moment with a friend and a quiet morning or a small win in my day. And those small things, they add up. They're kind of all we've really got sometimes, if I'm being honest. Like, overall, I've just noticed myself being someone who tries way too hard to control the big picture, whether it's my future, my reputation, the perfect vision of life. But in doing that, I forget about the present. I forget that a lot of life is messy and random. And maybe it's supposed to be that way. I don't have all the answers, and honestly, I probably never will. But I'm learning that noticing the mess instead of fighting it makes life a lot lighter. I catch myself thinking if I could only plan better, I wouldn't be here. But then I remember no plan is guaranteed. You can't force the world to fit your script, and sometimes it's actually freeing, because it means you don't have to carry the weight of making everything perfect. You just have to carry yourself through it. And yeah, some days that feels heavy, but some days it feels like enough. And it's weird how the small decisions start to matter more when you realize you can't control the big stuff. Like being patient with people, choosing to be honest, deciding to chill when something goes sideways. Those little things are actually yours to influence. They're the pieces of life that won't get blown away by random events. And yeah, it's small, but it's definitely something, and it's enough to keep you moving. Some nights I think about how much I still mess up. I overthink, I stress, and I panic. And that's okay. I don't have it all figured out. I'm just walking through it and trying to do the best that I can with the pieces that I have. And maybe that's the point. Life isn't about controlling the big picture. It's about learning to handle the small pieces one day at a time. So yeah, I don't have answers. I don't have it all mapped out. I'm figuring it out as I go. I just notice more now when I get caught up in trying to control stuff that I can't. I try to enjoy the small wins. I try to be okay with the mess. And some days I fail. But some days I feel like I actually get it. At least a little. And that feels like enough. At the end of the day, maybe life is just walking forward. Noticing what's yours to act on, letting go of the rest, and trying not to overthink every little step. And that's enough to keep going. That's enough to make the chaos a little lighter, and maybe even make some room to enjoy it. But in the end, the world doesn't care about your plans, but you can still make it through your day. You can still notice what matters. You can still figure it out, one step at a time. And honestly, that's all really any of us can do.